Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Nate here and I'm back with another message. This message is a bit of a reflection, okay? Um I don't know who this is for, but I know this is for some of you guys. So, I've been going through, my own transition when it comes to career, work, just life in general, and I've seen how God has removed things in the past to make room for new things. And I'm definitely in that transition mode because it's wintertime. So y'all know things are dying, things are beginning, it's transitions taking place so that we are ready and prepared for takeoff for April, spring, right? When things are blooming. So not only have I realized that in my life, I've been part of this transition, I've also realized that like my close friends who are also of the light, who are part of this transition as well, who's transitioning in their lives. Okay. And if you are a part of the light, and you're listening to me and you're part of my collective family, you may be going through a big transition as well that is setting you up for April, spring. I want to congratulate y'all because honestly, we don't really realize or notice how far we've come or what we're doing or how we're in our blessing or miracle right now because we're so busy doing it. We're so busy focused working or planning out the next thing and the next thing. So sometimes we forget to just be present in the now and notice what God is doing or has done for us. I had a conversation with one of my friends and I was just like in awe. First of all, I love my friends that love God. Okay. When we're talking about God and they're talking about God to me and they're just praising God and saying, thank you, God, for this. Oh, I love God. I just be sitting in awe and I'll be talking to God. I'll be like, God, look at your son. Or God, look at your daughter. Do you hear them? Like, look at how much they love you. Like, that makes me so happy. So it's important to have friends around where you guys can both talk about God and no one feels offended, no one feels hurt because trust me, some people feel offended, some people are annoyed when you speak God. You got to make sure you are around the right folks, okay? Period. But, just sitting with one of my friends and I was just in awe by, first of all, how much he was talking about God. And then second, I was in awe because what God said was actually taking place and it was happening. So I knew that people were entering into a transition and God was blessing, his children at this time. And he's taking us out of, the wilderness, the darkness to bring us to our, land of milk and honey. So what meaning is a lot of people, they left old jobs where they wasn't being treated right, okay, where they could have been just aggravated on a job, where they could have just been mistreated, they wasn't getting paid well, or they was working extra hard and wasn't getting recognition for the work or just wasn't getting paid enough, okay. And this has been happening to a lot of God's children. But in this season, this is the time for transition where actually not in this season, you've already been transitioned. Okay. So a lot of you guys have already left that job, you know what I'm saying, or left that relationship. You left the thing that has been hindering you. You left the thing that has been annoying you, the bother. Okay, you've left that. And now God has brought you into something new. It's a new environment, a new establishment, but you're making better money, or you're making more money, or you're making the same money, but it's less work, or it's the same, but people are recognizing you. So it feels better. You get what I'm saying? Or you're getting things that you never thought that you would get. Like your boss is paying for your lunch or paying for y'all coffees, or they're paying you on time. And the last company you had to do this and this and this and this. Now you're in this season of blessings and God is not playing with you. Okay. So I knew that God was working very, very big because I've been speaking on YouTube for a while now. And I know what God is going, I know what God is doing. Okay. I don't know everything because God don't want us to know everything. He like things to be a surprise, but I knew the mission. I was speaking on these things. Okay. If you've been here at OG, I've been speaking on jobs not paying well and people having to leave. And it's time for the transition. It's time for you to get up out of there and stand on your worth and stuff like that. And I've even had friends in my life where I had to motivate and encourage them a couple of months ago, where I'm like, okay, it's time for you to leave this job. You have outgrown this place. God is trying to get you out of this place. It's toxic here. You don't belong here. It's too much gossip. You're not getting paid well. They don't appreciate your work ethic. You know what I'm saying? And I've been speaking on this. If you go to videos maybe 5 months ago, 4 months ago, I was already warning people of this transition that was taking place. And some of my friends, I'm just being personal a little bit, they were a bit afraid because this mean that some of them had to leave jobs that they were working at for years. Okay. Some of them needed to change positions. Some of them needed to move. Okay. And my friends, they were a bit nervous. And I was like, well, listen, you want God to bless you, you need to get in the position to be blessed. God cannot bless you at this job because it's messy. God cannot bless you at this job because they are covetous, okay? They want what belongs to you, your money. They not paying you what you deserve, okay? God cannot bless this mess. So you need to get out so that God can properly bless you. And now that the transition has happened and we are in the winter season, where now it's time for you to get used to the new life so that you're ready for spring, right? So that you're in a position to receive everything for spring, so that everything is smooth sailing in spring. So things are transitioning. I think a couple of people probably changed jobs, changed careers, maybe I say the last 2 months ago, okay? And now you're still kind of learning how to deal with this job. You're still learning how to, just deal with everything. Maybe you had to move, or maybe you're about to move. God is putting you into a new house or whatever. Okay. This all has been happening within the last 2 months. Okay. Some of you have started new jobs. Some of you have started new careers, new ventures, okay, new businesses, okay, you done changed to new towns. You're working in different departments, okay. It's a lot of big things, y'all. And I know that this is true because it's happening in my life. It's happening in my close friends' life. It's happening in family life that I know that is of the light, okay. It's happening for the people who have surrendered to God's plan, who's not holding on to anything, who's not idolizing these people, these jobs, these places, the people that have surrendered to God's will for their life. You have been going through big transitions at this time. Within the last 2 months, there's been big transitions taking place. Okay, either you lost the job or you left the job. Okay, either you lost the relationship or you left that relationship. Either you lost the house or you're moving to a new house. Okay, but understand that in this time, because of this transition, I need you to go with the flow of life. Like God is trying to put you back on the right path for you to receive the blessings after you've been somewhere too long, or things have been blinded, or like foggy, like you couldn't really see clear on the window. Okay, on the screen, it's been a bit foggy. Now God is clearing out your path. Okay, and I want to say congratulations. I'm always in awe of these things when I hear it, when I see it, when I speak these things, and then I see it happening, especially when it's happening in my life, like with my close friends and stuff. Like just talking to one of my close friends recently, they just changed to a new department and it's just so much better. They can actually thrive in this company because they're still working for the same company, but the thing is they just needed to switch departments. Okay, sometimes your boss over there is just not of God. They're not considerate. Okay, they're not people. You cannot be around or working with people who are not people. Okay, you need to work with people that actually care about human beings. They're considerate, they're understanding. Okay, so you might not be changing the whole job, but maybe you're just changing a department. Now you're working for a boss who actually gives a fuck about people. Okay, you get what I'm saying? So a lot of y'all are experiencing different changes for God to put y'all on the path. But what I do know is that a lot of people are going through these changes, especially if you are of the light. Okay, God is getting things back in order. He's putting his children back in the order that he needs us to be in. And it always makes me so happy and so proud when I'm hearing these stories and I'm getting the confirmation of, the children and what they're doing and how God moved them here and here. I have another friend, a very close friend of mine, who I've been telling this person for the longest that it was time for them to leave their job. I said, God wants you to leave this job. This person, he was working his job for maybe 10 plus years. So of course he was settled there. He was comfortable there. He knew everybody there. It was kind of like an ego thing too, because he knew everybody there. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't getting paid what he deserved to get paid, and the job was toxic. It was very gossipy. He didn't get like what he was owed to. Like, he didn't have like his own office space for years now. He's been like the backbone for the company, and they still kind of overlooked him and stuff like that. And it could be because of, his race or who he is, whatever like that. So for the longest, this man will be calling me and just be whining, or not even whining, just telling me about his job. And it got to a point where I was like, bro, I don't even want to hear about this because I can't soak in this energy. This is negative. This is bad energy. And I really need you to move away from this. Okay. And it even took me like having to get away from this man because let me tell y'all some things. I tell people things all the time. Right? Because God has gifted me with this knowledge, I warn and tell people things all the time. And sometimes because I tell people things and I really care about them, God will get me out of their life or remove me out of their life for a certain period of time, just so that they could start to deal with that on their own. Because when you're always there shadowing a person, sometimes they don't want to listen to you, you know what I'm saying, until they're really there on their own, and now they have to deal with it. So it even got to a point where, y'all, I was really annoyed by this man always telling me his problems at work. You feel me? This is a close friend. This is like a family member of mine, okay? And I would get so annoyed and tired of this man always talking about work. And I'm like, well, bitch, fix it. It's time. Quit. Like, quit. You're not paying you. You going through this. You struggling about your money. You still behind on this, and this. So now I'm like, okay, you don't listen. So now I got to pull back from the friendship or whatever, because I can't hang around people that is jeopardizing themselves. I can't be around people or fellowship with people who is hurting themselves and they don't even realize that they're actually hurting themselves. So God told me to remove myself from this person. It wasn't forever. This is the thing. Sometimes God will have us step back from people, situations, and places and things just for a season so that they could get it. Okay, so that they could come back to their senses, so that God can talk to them and speak to them, so that God could guide them on what it is. So I came in with the warning, kind of telling them that it's time for them, it's time for you to leave this place. God wants you to leave this place. But they didn't really have the confidence. They wasn't too sure. And, it started to annoy me because this person will always come trying to tell me about their problems, and I keep giving them a solution, but they not listening to the solution out of fear, okay? Scared that they're not going to, sorry, I just lit my candle, started making all this bubble noise, but, yeah, out of fear, just scared, like, oh, I need this job, or I've been here for years, like, I have to work here, you know what I'm saying? Just comfortable, and sometimes we got to get uncomfortable for God to make us back comfortable. And y'all, I stopped talking to this person maybe for like a couple weeks, almost a month, because I was working on my own transitioning at the time as well and stuff like that. And when I got back in connection with this person, they was like, yo, Nay, I quit the job. You were so right. I got interviews. They had so many interviews lined up. And now currently this person is working the best job that they ever worked in their life, y'all. Like, they getting paid on time. They get paid almost every day type of vibe. Like, their boss don't play. Their boss knew that they need them. See, the thing is, some people, your boss know that you're an asset and they really need you, but they still trying to act like you ain't an asset. That's the problem. That's the issue right there. This new boss that my friend is working for knows that he's an asset and really treats him as such. And he doesn't even work as hard as like at the other job. You know what I'm saying? The other job wanted him to be a secretary, custodian, a therapist, all types of stuff, and not paying you for everything that you're doing. Okay, so I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very pleased just hearing these type of stories and hearing them like call me or say, Nay, you was right. Like, oh my God, this is the best job. Like, if I never left, like, oh my God, you were so right. Just hearing that, it makes me happy, because it'd be like, yo, God was right. Because I wasn't right. It was all God. It was all God telling me to do that, or telling me to tell you that, so it makes me happy because I know that God is real and God is really speaking to me and telling me, the right things. It's not leading people astray, because, telling someone that they need to leave a job and they grown and they got bills, that's a big deal. And, just being a speaker for God, a messenger for God is a big deal regardless, because a lot of times you saying stuff that people don't want to hear, or people may not believe or whatever like that. So just walking out on faith and speaking it is important. And I'm glad that, I'm able to be that person to speak out and let people know. And I know that there's a couple of y'all that's going to leave some comments, and I want y'all to leave some comments and just tell me about your transition. Maybe God led you to leave a job, or maybe somebody close to you told you to leave a job, and they was like, yo, it's time. Maybe they're a speaker for God, you know what I'm saying? And you listened and you left, or maybe you needed to go to a new city, state, or town or something like that, or whatever it was. I want to hear y'all stories, because in this time, it is a big transition, and God has been preparing his children. So there's a lot of good stories where people are in better careers, or they're working out of their passions, and they're happy about what they're doing, and they're not overworked and overlooked. And I just want to thank God for everybody on y'all behalf. I want to just thank God, you know what I'm saying? Because without him, we would not be here. We would not be here. And I know it's a couple of y'all that's going to resonate with this message, because it's just, God is just so good, and he's doing so much for his children at this time. So I'm excited to hear what y'all going to say. You can even tell me about when you were nervous about it, like leaving this job or moving. You were nervous. Tell me your stories, because I really want to read about it, because I've had friends that I was telling them, like, no, God is saying you got to go. Like, it's time to leave. It's time to leave. Don't get stuck there. It's time to go. You got to go. He got something better for you. And I remember them being nervous and them being scared and being like, well, I got bills. I got to pay this and I can't do this. And I'm like, God is trying to tell you to leave this place. This place they're not paying you what you're worth. They're not. You're stressed out here. It's toxic here. Now y'all in here arguing like little fights, and maybe your workplace is not this chaotic, but maybe they just not paying you on time, or maybe you just not getting paid your worth. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they just overlooking you and they focus more on someone else. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you've been trying to get bigger in a company, but whatever. I don't know. It's different from every last human being. But I do want to hear how God has been blessing y'all and the transition in your life, because I know in this season, I know that for sure, that God is handing out blessings and miracles to his children that is on the right path of receiving them. So make sure y'all let me know what's going on for y'all. I love y'all. Catch y'all in my next video. Bye. Congratulations. Work so hard. Dedication. Y'all know that song. Congratulations. Bye.